What else? What else have has stood out to you? Let's take up some more nuggets.
Yeah, Sarah said, I have to master my message and focus my efforts. I have too many messages. Sarah, I have been there. Listen, type in the chat if you understand what Sarah is saying. Type in the chat, Yana, YANA. You are not alone, Sarah.
Mm.
Oh my. Listen, sometimes it's not a matter of not having an idea that makes us not successful,
Come on.
but having too many ideas.
Oh boy, there we go.
That failure to launch syndrome is something that plagues brilliant people. I have someone I'm very close to who every day has great, extremely awesome ideas that if they were acted on tomorrow, man, life transforming type of changes. However, because there's so many ideas surrounding in their head, they don't take action on any of them.
Oh boy.
And then they're left at the same place that they started. That won't happen to you, Sarah, because you are here.
Come on.
The mere fact that you're in this masterclass means that you are done with that cycle of self sabotage, that cycle that keeps you wanting but not gaining, that cycle that keeps you looking on, watching other people win, but you're just sitting on the sidelines.
Come on.
That cycle is a vicious cycle and it sucks up our greatness. But it ends today. Somebody type in the chat, it ends today.
Come on, type it in the chat.
Today.
Maria, it ends today. Come on, type it in the chat. Cynthia, it ends today. Erica, it ends today. If you see me look on the side, I'm also just acknowledging those who are taking a peek on the mastermind chat. So I'm not distracted. I'm just including the audience as well. So now that we've gathered the nuggets, now that we're really clear on where we are, because I remember apart from as men, just we don't like to shop, right? The other part is with large and huge mall centers and shopping centers. It's laborious trying to find things. And the first thing that I do, I see you, Sharon. The first thing that I do is that I go and I look for the map, and the first thing the map shows me is you are here. Come on, somebody type in the chat, you are here.
You are here.
And that's what this exercise is about. As you move into day 2, you need to know where you are.
That's right.
In order to know where you need to go. Come on, you need to know where you are in order to know where you need to go. And many times we go to conferences, we go to events, we had a wonderful time, but we don't take a little checkup from the neck up. Where is your headspace? Come on, somebody, it's checkup time. So that's what we just did. That was the checkup time to ensure that the great nuggets, they don't just pass you by. That the things that were riveting and that was sizzling, they don't pass you by. So I really, really want to ensure and let you know what we are engaging in. I see you, Sharon. It's like I'm here.
One of the nuggets that I don't want to miss either is when we shared the fact that sometimes we have a tendency to go and launch something new, a new idea, and act on it because we equate newness with value.
Woo! Come on now.
We equate newness with value.
Who remember that? We equate newness with value. Who remember that? Because sometimes you're thinking, I need to change this up. I don't want to talk about that story anymore. I don't want to share that experience anymore because I've heard it before. Erica's like, yeah, that's it right there, right?
And your messaging suffers as a result.
Yep.
So one day you're known for the woman who overcame diabetes. And then the next minute you're known for the woman who wants to help people start businesses. And like the messages are inconsistent.
And you've judged or misjudged the value because
you weren't getting the likes that you thought you would have,
or because of time. I've been saying this for so long, and I probably need to change. Come on, is that you? Say, come on, that's me. You've done it before, but you've probably considered before, or you've reached for that shiny thing on the shelf because it looks shiny. Because I equate value with newness. But your story is alive. Come on, catch this here, Deborah. You look like you're getting your steps in. But your value is still alive, Deborah, because you are alive.
That's right.
Come on, your message is still relevant. Don't look for something new because you want to look for something new to say. Oh, come on. You can't be a cloud chaser if you want to serve from your overflow. You can't be a
That's
servant leader if you just want to say what's trending. It's all about what's alive. And you're alive, your message is alive, the value is in your message. And that's how you master that message. Come on, somebody say, I'm going to stick with my value.
I'm gonna stick with my
Come on,
value.
type in the chat. I'm going to stick with my value. Those who are looking at us on the stream, type in the chat. I'm going to stick with my value. Come on, I'm going to stick with my value. All right, I'm going to stick with it. Come on, somebody, stick with it.
So if you're joining us from any of our streams on Facebook or YouTube, I want you to know that we are committed to your breakthrough.
Yes.
So we're giving you just a glimpse, right? That will help you to make a difference in your business, whether you are like, I'm here, but I just couldn't manage to make it to the VIP. You're here and we believe in you, right?
That's all that
So
matters.
while you're here, make sure you get all the crumbs that are falling from the table. And if you want to have an entire meal, then there's an opportunity for you to be a part of the VIP experience that is happening now. And it's going to get so much more juicy as the hours come on. So welcome to those of you on our streaming platforms, and a special welcome to those of you who have invested in yourselves and are joining us for VIP. Okay. Y'all are with us for the entire morning. I'm excited. I am excited to be with you. So welcome to day 2. Yesterday, day 1, we covered so many great value points. And we're going to recap those as we go through the presentation. But I don't want to take for granted that everyone who's watching us now, that you were on day 1. We had a crowd now, right? However, if you don't know who we are and you're meeting us for the first time, my name is Chantel, and my partner in process and progress is Mwale. And we're the founders of the Bestsellers Academy. We've been able to help over 1,375 people to grow best-selling businesses as a result of their best-selling books. Okay, because of that, our business inevitably grew as well because of our service in helping those individuals to succeed. And we were recognized by Infusionsoft, now known as Keep, as being icon of the year awardees for the work that we've done to support so many people. And it's great when you know that the reason you serve, the reason you play full out, it's not just to stop as a blessing for your family.
Come on.
But it's to bless others as well.
That's right.
Somebody type in the chat, I am a blessing.
Come on.
I am a blessing, because when we transform our mindset, that when I show up, when I wake up early, when I stay up late to write those emails, to record those videos, right?
Boy.
I am blessing someone. Yes, it may feel like a burden right now, but your success is a direct blessing.
Yep. And one of the key things for us that we learned, we are blessed to be a blessing. So growing our business by 300% during a pandemic was no accident. We decided, whilst others were saying, hey, you need to pivot, we chose to persevere. And because of that resilience, because of that decision, we were able to support so many others to find their voice, to hone their message, to discover community, and to more brilliantly monetize their message. So we've been featured on Business Insider, NBC, Fox, CBS, CNN, just to name a few, based on the work that we've been doing in literary leverage, supporting others to hone their message and to be of massive influence. So, we've worked with the likes of Lisa Nichols, who is going to be joining us pretty soon. So
Yes.
I hope you guys, those who are looking at the stream, I really, really hope that you grab your VIP access because that VIP access is for the VIPs.
Come on now.
But we're just going to give you a glimpse. Also, we've also worked with persons like Dr. Kimbrough, who is a great friend and mentor.
Yeah, he's the author of The Wealth Choice. He actually was commissioned by the Napoleon Hill Foundation to write the version of Think and Grow Rich but for an African American audience, right? So some of you may recognize him from being a leader, a thought leader in that field of wealth building, legacy building for African Americans. So he's one of not only our mentors, but also a client of ours who we've been able to serve through our speaking and writing.
All right, so let's go straight into today's session. We're going to take you through 3 principles for success. Now that you've honed or mastered your message, now that you realize or answer the question, who do I serve? Not just know, why do I serve? Who do I serve? What's your legacy? And moreover, what's at stake? The key question we want to answer right now is, how do you take that model? How do you take that content? How do you take that strategy and position that in a success formula that allows you to have momentum in your message? Come on, somebody type in the chat momentum.
Momentum.
Come on, type in the chat momentum. Come on, Anita, type in the chat momentum. Sharon, type in the chat momentum. Cynthia, because you want to move from either you're just getting started to know you want to begin to move. You want to begin to be in the marketplace. I see you, Sarah. You want to now be in front of your ideal client. I see you, Claire. And being in front of that ideal client is not a moment, but it is momentum.
Yes, it is. And you need certain, just like if you were to go out and get in your car, right? There's certain things that you need in order for your car to actually move, okay? You need some gasoline, you need some, what else? You're a car man. You're like, I just go and I drive. No, your battery has to be charged, right?
You need transmission fuel,
Yeah.
you need engine oil, you need to ensure that you have water in your radiator.
And that's assuming that you already have the fundamentals down, right? You already got some wheels, right? You already got an engine. But the point being is that if you want the floodgates to open,
come on,
there has to be a foundation for success.
Yeah, and Maria, Sharon, one of the things I've learned is that, and let's be transparent, we didn't, it wasn't always like this. It wasn't always like this in terms of generating business success during the pandemic, growing at 300%. It wasn't always like this, being featured on BET and AP News.
Yes.
It wasn't like this. We remember the times where growing our business was arduous. It was hard. It was difficult.
It was a burden. Look, we didn't see it like you, Claire, that it was a blessing. It was a burden.
But we know the burden that we felt, we were married to it. Have you ever had something that was so difficult, it was yet still hard to let go? Whoo, come on, somebody, talk to me. Have you ever been married to something? It's hard, it's difficult, but yet still it's hard to let go of. Wow. Because somewhere on the inside of you, Cynthia, somewhere on the inside of you, Sarah, somewhere on the inside of you, Sharon, Anita, you know that this is worth the pain. It's worth the process. It's worth walking through, crawling through, crying through until you get through. So for us, when we talk about the principles of success, we celebrated tremendously when we got our first client.
Oh yeah.
Because it was a moment for us to say, hey, this thing could possibly work. But the challenge was, I'll be frank and I'll be honest, the challenge was when we celebrated that first client, we were not able, Deborah, to say, how did we get that first client?
Wow.
We were not able to measure in an intrinsic way, in a specific way, how that success happened. That when it did happen, let's be honest, when it did happen, we were more excited about celebrating the success than measuring the success. Woo, somebody talk to me.
That is powerful.
Oh, come on. We were more excited in celebrating the success than measuring the success. So what does that look like? What does that look like, Claire? What does that look like, Jennifer? What does celebrate that success looks like? It looks like this. You just closed the deal. You were asked to speak. You were asked to do a corporate training.
Mhm.
And because of the request, you celebrate. You're like, I'm so excited. I'm ready. That's
I made it.
I made it, right? You tell your friends, you only name dropping. Yeah, I'm busy that day. I'll be doing a talk. You put it in your calendar, Deborah. Come on, talk to me. You tell a friend, yeah, I can't come to the gym that day. I'm putting together a presentation. You just drop in that because you're relishing in the fact that you have an activity.
Mm,
But activity does not redound to productivity.
so true.
So, how do you move from celebrating the success to measuring it? Because trust me, that gate. I want you guys to follow me here. Come on, if you're with me, type in the chat. I'm with you. Because if you were planning to sleep, if you were planning just to be in the room to pass time,
To listen to my sweet husband's Caribbean voice.
I want to say to you, you're in the wrong place. Because this is a place where we have just come by to moderately to significantly disrupt you. Because oftentimes we celebrate our profits away. You're just happy to get that $500 gig. You're just happy to get that $1,000 speaking engagement fee. Or you're just happy to be in the room. For some of you, you're just starting out and they selected me. But it was for free. Or they selected me. But one of the things we've been able to learn is how do you measure that success? Because what's not measured cannot be. Come on, somebody finish that for me. Because I know we're in the room with game changers. What's not measured, Claire? What's not measured, Cassandra? What's not measured, Jennifer? What's not measured, Maria? Cannot be managed. If it's not measured, it can't be managed.
And what's not measured never gets multiplied.
Ooh, wait, come on. What's not measured cannot be multiplied. So the principles of success, we are going to walk you through to discover what's the money or why are you leaving money on the table. So let's talk to the person who got booked, but you were booked not for a fee. But there is something called non-monetary currency you can negotiate that will cause your speaking and coaching business to be profitable. So I wanna ask a question. How many of you have you delivered a talk in a corporate setting or any setting, but you weren't paid for it? Just type in the chat, that's me. Come on, type in the chat, that's me. If that was you, you gave a talk, it was a formal talk. It wasn't like spur of the moment, someone asked you to come up and say something. I'm talking about you were featured. Okay, I see you, Claire. You were asked, you were, right? Sarah, right? That's me, Cynthia. Come on, guys, right? Maria, that's you. Now, let's discover how you left money on the table. Because money is a dignified conversation.
That's right.
We must not become uncomfortable with something that's essential. Oh boy.
Come on, drop it, drop it.
I'm gonna drink some tea. I think I'm done for the day. We cannot become uncomfortable with something that's essential. Are you uncomfortable with breathing? Are you uncomfortable with drinking water? Come on now. Are you uncomfortable with eating, Claire? Cynthia's like, no, no, no. Therefore, you must not become uncomfortable with a money conversation.
That's
because
right.
money is a dignified conversation. Type that in the chat. Money is a dignified conversation. Come on, somebody. I see you, Pamela. Pamela say it has happened to build network currency. True. So type it in the chat. Money is a dignified conversation. It's a dignified conversation. So how do you leave resources on the table with a free speaking engagement? Have you ever, I see you, Claire, thank you for typing that in the chat. Have you ever gone to an event, you've been asked to speak, and in being asked to speak, did you follow by saying, or before agreeing to speak, here are some of the non-monetary currency. Type that in the chat, non-monetary currency. Non-monetary currency that you can um, have access to that you can monetize after the event. Type it in the chat. Non-monetary currency. Number one of the key things that you can discuss, that you can engage. Is there going to be a professional photographer
Come on.
on the day? Is there going to be a professional photographer on the day? If they say yes, then you make it a prerequisite that you get the pictures of the event. Now, hear this, because this is the mistake sometimes we make. We ask for the professional pictures, but we don't provide what is called a shot list. Because they will provide you pictures, Deborah, right? Pictures of the entire event and probably one or two that you could use or repurpose for branding. So you have to teach people how to treat you. I want to throw this table upside down.
Come on.
You have to teach people how to treat you.
Yes.
So, Sharon, you've decided I'm going to speak without a fee. But what you provide is value. So, how do you teach people to treat you, Deborah? You said, this is my shot list. I want you to write it down. A shot list are creative directions. It's creative directions. So you are going to provide a shot list to that photographer of what type of shots you require. It's part of the agreement. I want an audience front shot. I want a side profile shot. I want an audience, not just front shot, but I also want an audience back shot, meaning they're taking a picture of you from the back so people see the faces of the people.
That's right.
Because that's a key shot, right? Because sometimes all the time we get pictures where the audience is anonymous. You only see the back of their head, their ears, their nose, because you want to get the crowd's reaction. There's another requirement. You want a happy shot, crowd responses. You tell them, because it's built in your speech, where you're going to be asking people questions. You want shots of people raising their hands. It's built in your speech. You want a shot where you are interacting with the audience. And here's this. If you want to create a moment, it's pitched in your speech, and I'm talking to my DIs, of inclusion. If you want to expand your diversity base as an African American, you don't want only pictures with people who look like you. I'm going to walk out the room if you guys, I'm going to pelt this computer at somebody. Are you guys following me?
That is so important.
Because you are creating a brand, you are creating an expanding leverage. So you have to have that representing in your brand.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to have shots that not only represent people who look like you also want to include in that a diversity, because we're talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion.
That's
right. Boy, Maria said yes.
Yes, Claire's like, you said it.
Right?
Don't leave the money on the table.
So these are part of the instruction, and it's built in your agreement. This is not a conversation you're having with them, but it's also documented. Somebody said documented. So you're going to have in the agreement stating diversity shots. All right? And you're going to create the moments for them because you're going to engage the audience also in a diverse way. Oh boy.
Don't the computer down. Don't drop the mic. We need the mic.
I need to see you guys in a room because I'm just really excited. Is this helping somebody here? Come on, is this helping you, Sharon? Is this helping
Renee's
you, Maria?
like meaty nuggets, documentation.
So you want to list that down. So you call it diversity shots. Because one of the key questions you need to ask the person who's organizing the event is, what's the diversity of your audience?
What's the demographics?
What's the demographics of your audience? What's the psychographic of your audience? How much did they pay for that ticket? So that kind of gives you a gauge of the money that's in the room. So I just talked about shots. Now I'm talking about video. You ask, do you have a videographer? If they say no, then you could make that request. Say, hey, my usual speaking fee is 2,500, right? Having a videographer, I'm going to request that my speech be recorded.
That's right.
Some of these organizers, they can have an in-house person, or they could get someone who they don't have to pay. And your request is for them to record your talk. If it's not in the budget, the request, so they're not paying you, all right? They may have that facility in-house. So, and these are in rare occasions, because most events is recorded. All right, most
Listen,
events are recorded.
Look, and Wale, you are really dropping some meat today. So if y'all are vegan, I apologize. But listen, this is so good. I want y'all to type in the chat, NMC, non-monetary currency. Okay, because this is what's going to help you to remember to ask for these things
and document your ask and have it signed off as your ask.
That's right.
So when it's time to deliver, because here's what Maria said. She said, I've presented before and chaired so many events. Hear this carefully. Chaired so many events and conferences and accepted whatever photos they publish, but it didn't do much for me. So you spend this time, or as a speaker, as a coach, as a consultant, you should be investing that time.
That's right.
Because you cannot receive non-monetary currency from that event. So you didn't have to pay a photographer. All right. Here's another takeaway for persons who, hear this carefully, who are the photographer who's coming. You can have after event shots. So after event shots, this is what I recommend. Find a background that's neutral.
Oh, you're giving him the juice now. You're giving him
I
the
say
juice.
Find a background that's neutral, and you do action shots. That's part of what they need to send you. And then you can now neutralize that background and use those shots as part of your branding. Join me now. It's your time now. I think you guys need to see me, because I really, really, really hope that you okay. Let's stop the sharing, because I want to come on main screen. So you're doing action shots. Deborah, join me now. Offer. Click below. 3 shots, 4 shots. You do that on a neutral background, and that forms part of your portfolio that they send to you. So you just save money on hiring a photographer for a photo shoot.
You save money on you made the event pay for itself. Okay,
come on, somebody,
because you're already there. You already have your makeup player. You already have your hair. All of that. Make it count. Okay?
Right. And here's for my ladies. Here's a good way of making the photos diverse, of making the photos in terms of your wardrobe, because usually if you hire someone, you will have wardrobe changes. Wear something that you could jacket on, jacket off.
2 outfits right there.
That's 2 outfits. Come on now, right? So make it diverse. Now, I've seen videos where there are dresses that you could wear differently. You could wrap it. If you're that creative lady, that you could, you could have different outfits with the same dress. That's fine. But just do that. So you've leveraged a non-monetary asset that's not costing the event organizer any additional funds or limited resources to get you on their stage. So if someone said, oh, I just have to pay, X person, $250 for the day versus paying you $2,000. $2,000. Right. Oh, that's a deal. Right? I just won. Now, be very careful when you itemize the pictures. You want to state the quality of the pictures in the agreement.
That's right.
So the quality of the pictures, you want to state the pixel in the agreement. So just in case if they're planning to get cousin Ray to come with his camera to take some shots for you
on his iPhone.
It depends on the iPhone.
That's right? True. iPhone takes some pretty good pictures these days.
Right? You want to make sure the quality. So you want to indicate to them that, hey, you want to have good quality shots.
300 DPI, for example. That's a quality photo that you can actually use for your book cover.
Same thing for do you want it delivered for your video? All right,
Mm-hmm.
4K or 1080p HD. So that's the quality of the video. So it's not grainy. You can reproduce. Same thing for right? So same thing for video, same thing for pictures. So is this helping someone? Yeah, I hope this is helping. So we're talking about how do you leave money on the table, and as a consultant, how can you implement to ensure that you have non-monetary currency that you can cash in, that you can bank in, that you can gain momentum in your business from the same pictures, the same event.
That's right.
Come on, somebody, and you build credibility and reliability in your brand. If this is helping you, type in the chat, this is helpful. Come on, this is helpful. Come on, this is helpful. All right. So let's continue in our discussion. We have a couple more slides to go. So why are you leaving money on the table? Because what you don't want to be known, what do you want to be known for?
That's right. Your unique value proposition, it's going to be what allows people to say, when I have a problem with diversity on my job, when I need someone who can help me with HR, I'm going to call this person. I'm going to call Carletta. I'm going to call Renee, right? Because you have distinguished your brand in the marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
So it rolls off of their tongue easily, right? So my question for you is, what do you want to be known for? Those of you who have been in that, space of indecision, and you realize, wow, I'm only getting older. Come on, somebody. And I have not truly found that one thing that I can do, that I can wake up and be proud of and never have to look for another thing again. You've played with a lot, but you haven't made that decision. Now is decision time. Somebody type in the chat, now is decision time.
Come on, type it in the chat. Now is decision time.
And decision doesn't mean that you are limiting yourself, but you are actually helping yourself in that you don't have this scatterbrained mindset anymore, right? Accept the path and run with it. And I'm speaking to y'all because I had to speak to me, right? I put a stake in the ground. I put my mark in the sand and I said, listen, I have to make this work for me.
Come on.
Because if I keep moving from idea to idea and never truly giving one idea a chance to grow and mature, then I'll never build anything, right? Some of you know what it's like, Deborah, right? Now is the time. And so I want to take you through an exercise called Building Your Superhero Name. And this exercise is fun. It can also be a little challenging, but we're going to make it fun because what your superhero name represents is your ability to save someone, save an organization from a media crisis, your ability to save a relationship from divorce. What is it that represents your rescue powers? Like our favorite superhero.
Come on, type in the chat. You've got rescue powers.
You've got
Come on, type in the chat. Rescue powers.
Yes. Because we talked yesterday, the problem that you solve is what people are going to pay for.
That's right. Oh boy. Say that one more time. The problem that you solve is what people are going to pay for.
Absolutely. When people choose us to help them write their book, they don't choose us because they like Molly and Chantel. I mean, they may like us and some may not, right? And that's okay too. But the reason why they choose us is because they've had a story in their belly for years.
Let's ask that question. How many of you had a story in your belly for years? You've been thinking of writing a book. I want you to type that number. Type that number in the chat.
How many years have you been pregnant?
Is it 1 year, 2 years, 3 years? Come on, type that number. Let's tell on ourselves. How long have you been pregnant? For those who've carried a child before, you know, the first month it's nice. Second month, oh baby bump. Some of you probably was on an app following. What does the baby look like? It's a pea. That's how we were when we had our first child, our son Princeton. He's 5 years old, and we romanticize and play around with something that's important. It would be nice to be an author. It'd be so cute to get that book done. Probably even become a bestseller. But if you've carried a child before, by the time you reach 6 months, 7 months, it's no longer cute. Oh, come on, talk to me. It's no longer cute. It's no longer cute. Are there any mothers in the house? Because I'm expressing something that I haven't carried. I always tell my wife I carried our children on the outside. All right. But it's no longer cute. By the time you're 8 months, you're like, I just want this baby out.
Out.
Right?
Cynthia, it's been a while, huh? Jennifer, you know what it's like to have, what Maya Angelou said. She said, there's no greater agony than bearing an untold story on the inside of you. Agonizing. I mean, I literally had, we had a client a couple of years ago, and she's like, Chantal, I've done a lot. I went from the outhouse to the White House. I've served in presidential administrations, and I've given out over $29 million worth of funding to nonprofits and for-profit organizations. And she's like, I've done so much, but I feel like I haven't accomplished the one thing that I know I was called to do, and that's to share my story.
Come on now.
And she said that if I don't get this out right now, I'm going to be sick. So this visceral response to the agony that comes from sitting on your gifts, it's real.
It's real.
It's real.
So we want you to discover that superhero name that's buried on the inside, the S that's on your chest, that's on the inside. We want you to discover what's that superhero name. What's your acclaim? We know that we rescue geniuses from the confusion in their heads to a place of clarity and abundant legacy. If you are uncertain, we're your superhero. If you need clarity, we're your superhero. If you want to learn how to monetize your message, we're your superheroes. If you want to scale your consultancy, you want to scale your business, you want to scale your presence, we're your superhero.
That's why our superhero name, I'm Chantal, the book boss, and Wale, the book boss, meaning that if you want to boss up your brand, boss up your business, and boss up your life, your story needs to be told.
Come on now. Come on. Somebody type in the chat, my story needs to be told. Come on, type in the chat, my story needs to be told. And so my story needs to be told. So the exercise here, take us through the exercise.
We want to do an exercise with you, which will require you to put on your thinking cap. And we want you to share your superhero name, okay? And I'm going to call on two of you to actually say it out loud and share it with us.
Yep.
How you come up with your superhero name is a combination of the solutions that you have, right? So what is the result that people get? And it must be short, right? You can't have this long name, right? Usually it's max 3 words,
right? All right.
And or a desire that you want to communicate. So let's say my sister, she's really great with makeup, right? So a superhero name that someone in that industry could use, my name is Jane, the makeup master. It has both the result, I'm a master, as well as the alliteration that rolls off so well from the tongue.
Does that have fun?
I'm Donna, right? The diversity diva, right? Woo! For an example. So,
I like that.
So think about what your superhero name is. I don't know if we have any thinking music, but I want to give you about 30 seconds to come up with your superhero name. And then I'll just raise your virtual hand and I'll invite one of you guys in our VIP room to share it with us.
All right. So what is your superhero name? What is your superhero name? I want you to think about it. What is your superhero name? This is your opportunity to think that through. What is my superhero name? So type it in the chat. As you reflect on that, you're going to have a couple seconds. We're going to talk about your superhero name.
All right. I see the thinking bubbles popping up over their heads. And Jennifer, I can't see you, but I know that you're writing away. Deborah, I see you. You're in a beautiful place to have some good thoughts swirling.
So we're going to give you 30 more seconds. Just think it through. What is my superhero name? 3 words.
So Claire, I see yours in the chat. I want you to unpack that a bit, right? Those who are hearing your superhero name, they may not know what the acronym stands for. So, and maybe you could, again, we're niching down. So maybe you could flag one of those areas that you specialize in that may. that may crystallize
Yep.
what your offer is by just hearing, I'm Claire the. Ooh, Carletta said the equity doctor. Carletta, I love that.
So think through, what's your superhero name? Think it through, what's my superhero name? Let me see some of the answers here. Sharon says, I am the healing and wholeness coach. All right.
Oh, I like that.
Healing and wholeness coach. Maria says, I'm the advocate without limits. Okay. So let's think of action words, adjectives, things that move people into action. Deborah says, I am the igniter and reinventor. Okay. Okay.
So we want you to, Deborah, to actually, maybe you can be our volunteer, so we can help you to unpack that.
No, I see Deborah smiling. She's like, I think I'm here with my kids. I'm on the move. Oh my goodness, they're calling on me.
Because now I'm curious, right? I want to know what you ignite and what you reinvent.
All right, so stand by. All right, we're gonna bring you up on main stage for in the next 20 seconds. All right. So 30 more seconds. Wrap up that last thought. You guys are doing wonderful. All right. So let's go straight into our discussion. Let's bring Deborah up on screen. So we're gonna have a discussion with you on your superhero
name.
So,
welcome, Deborah. Where are you joining us from?
Missouri's in the house. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful, Deborah. So good that you're joining us. So we're going to be talking about your superhero name. I know you indicated that you are Ignite. Let me see.
And Reinventor.
Ignite and Reinventor.
Tell us what.
Okay. So what's your area of expertise? What's your genius?
I help people to birth their voices again.
So if you're helping person to birth their voice again, it means that they lost their voice, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're igniter, then you're talking about someone who once had a fire, a burn, a flame. So you're like a fire starter.
Definitely.
All right. So how could we integrate being a fire starter and someone who helps someone to discover their voice?
Yeah. Let's see. I am Deborah, the voice vocalizer. I help men and women rediscover the power of their voice. I am Deborah, the voice vocalizer. As a result of working with me, I help individuals find their voice again.
Mm.
How does that feel?
I got most of it.
She's like, I'm taking notes.
I created a system.
The-
She knows, but I really like what you said.
Right.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well,
I never voiced it as what you said.
okay, great. Well, listen, I'll let you have it, right? You ain't even got to steal it. I'll let you have it. So let's clap it up for Deborah. Thank you so much for agreeing to volunteer. Let us take. I think we have room for maybe one more.
Yeah. So just for those of you who are looking at the stream, I want to make sure you are having an opportunity to see who Deborah is.
Oh, okay.
Because I know we have the. Okay, so who else would like to be a volunteer? Thank you so much, Deborah, for volunteering. Let's see another hand. Who would like to be another person?
And just a gentle reminder, I actually want you all to make sure that you're staying locked and loaded. Those of you who are joining us on our streaming platforms, your VIP access is going to end very soon. So, and we're just getting started, okay? So I want you to go ahead and make sure that you get your VIP ticket so that you are not left out of what's going to happen next. All right.
All right. So we have, I think, Cynthia. She jumped at it. Cynthia, are you there? Oh, there's Cynthia. So you have to unmute your mic.
There you
Beautiful.
are.
Yes.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. All right, beautiful. So tell us, what's your superhero power?
Well, I turn people's power back on. How do I turn people's power on? I let them realize that there's already everything that they need is already given to them. It's already on the inside of them. There's no place to go. You just have to be there and connect with them, and it opens up every door.
Okay. So let's unpack that.
Yeah. So tell me about the results. As a result of working with you, what's going to happen to a person's life?
As a result of working with me, a person finds their clarity. They find a peace of mind. Their mind is they're happy because they're not full of a lot of conversation. They are full of excitement and they're allowing life to happen. They're not trying to make it happen.
So beautiful. And that makes sense, right? Because you work with people in every area of their life. So your niche is clarity. So hi, my name is Cynthia, your clarity coach. As a result of working with me, people who, if you've been previously confused about your destiny, if you want to uncover your purpose and your plan, I'm your girl, right? Of course, you were beautifully decorated, more eloquently than that.
Or I'll turn the lights back on.
I'll turn the lights back on, right?
Yes.
I am Cynthia, your clarity coach. If you feel like you're in a place of darkness, I'll help you turn your lights back on.
Woo, 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 woo. Well,
you're VIP. You're VIP, so you'll get the recordings.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Let's hear for look, I want to call you Clarity, Miss Clarity. Let's hear for
Miss Clarity.
For Cynthia, the clarity coach. Shout out in the chat. You see the hand claps. That's awesome. Well, that was fun. That was a lot of fun.
All right, so I want you all to take the time and hone in on your superhero name, because that's going to really position you to be identified in the marketplace for something. All right. So was that helpful? Was this exercise helpful for you? If it was, type in the chat. Yes, indeed, it was. It is. I wouldn't even want to use the word was.
It is. Yes, implement it. I got someone who's doing equity. What about being the equity equalizer? The equity equalizer, the alliteration. I love that. I don't know. I just gave that out for free for somebody who specializes in equity and inclusion. So the superhero name is going to truly help distinguish you. It's when you're giving your snap, as we discussed yesterday, you are going to, it's a super networking at an accelerated pace. And so it allows a person to glean what you do without you burdening them with all the titles that you offer.
And in that, it allows you to highlight the results. All right. So for those of you who remember yesterday, we talked about that. Speak to your results. Speak to your results. As a result of working with me, I help who? Who is that person? To do what? And then in every discussion, people don't buy results. People don't buy process. They buy results.
That's right.
Or they are attached to a desire. Because research has shown from a decision point, people are motivated emotionally to make a decision. So that's why you leave people in their heart, Rennie. Whenever you're having that discussion, sometimes we drown people with our process. We know I do this and I do that and I do this. I'm a speaker, an author, a coach, I'm a mentor, I'm your father, I'm your brother, I'm your sister, I'm your uncle, I'm your nephew, I'm the cake maker, the butcher, and people are like, oh, come on, right? You don't kick off with process. And even if you choose one of those titles, I'm a coach. And as a coach, I take you this, I take you through the 3-step formula of a talk that does this, and then I spin you around, I throw you up in the air, I catch you back, I give you a bath, I scrub your feet, I give you a massage.
You do all of that? Look, I'm gonna hire you.
Because truth be told, when people hear a lot of process, they lose a lot of value in the process because they take it for granted, right? People aren't process minded, they're desire minded. So that's why we say you end your pitch leave them in their heart, not in their mind. That's why women, this might sound like a sexist statement.
Careful now, we have women are in the building now.
Well, let me look at the statistics. The buying power in any economy is driven by female spending.
That's true, accurate.
Right? So women control price. If you say you're not going to buy something, right, companies are driven by your spending pattern. And from a psychological perspective, we are moved. We may be convinced mentally that, okay, this product could do this, that, the other. But we are moved. The trigger that causes us to buy is the desire. It's going to make me feel good. I'm going to look beautiful. I'm going to look slimmer. I'm going to feel more confident, etc., etc., etc. So the same way, when you are speaking to your ideal client, leave them in desire. These are the benefits. I create harmony. I create inclusivity. I create increased greater productivity.
Yes.
Leave them with those 3 desire elements, and they're like, this is how I want my corporation to feel. And that's the trigger that causes them to buy. So even though you took them through your mind, you still take them to the place where this is what is being created. So at the Bestsellers Academy, as a result of working with me, we help professionals gain visibility and credibility by writing best-selling books in 90 days or less. As I've done for Wall Street bankers and DI pros and consultants. Who do you know wants to see a 90% increase in paid speaking engagements, attract qualified leads, and create multiple revenue streams? So the desire of someone saying, hey, I want multiple revenue streams. Come on, how many of you want multiple revenue streams? You don't want a one-trick pony that every time you talk, that's the only way you get paid. Come on, talk to me. If that's you saying, I want multiple streams, type in the chat, multiple, not just one, but multiple. Come on, type it in the chat. Is that you, Rennie? Is that you? Is that you, Cynthia? Is that you, Claire? Do you want to move from one to multiple? Type it in the chat if that's you. For those of you who are you have limited access to this stream, type it in the chat. Do you want multiple or not, Sharon? Type it in the chat because your breakthrough is in your participation, all right? So it's important. That's right. So multiple streams, so you speak to that desire. The other area is attract qualified leads. How many of you are tired talking to the people who don't have the budget, who don't have the money?
Mhm.
Oh boy, if you've been on this grind, you know how it feels. Come on, anybody's tired talking to the wrong people? Anybody's tired hearing, don't call us, we'll call you? Or are you tired talking to the people who always raise you up with hope? This is so great.
Mhm.
This is exactly what I need. And they smile. Oh, but Renee's like, man, I've had too many of those conversations. And they keep your hopes up, and they lift you up in the air. You're exactly what I need. Oh my, they even cry sometimes. Tears fall down their eyes. They probably even go in a comatose state and they come back. You revive them. Are you okay? They say, girl, you're my rescue. But nothing's in the bank account. Because I've learned decision makers, they talk very little. They take action.
That's right.
They
That's
talk
right.
very little. They take action. So when we say at the Best Sellers Academy, you attract qualified leads. When you hone in your message, you are able to stand in front of the right people who have the budget so that you can get paid. So no more of those conversations. All right. So when you craft your message during our book coaching process, you get clarity on who's your ideal client. So when you pitch your services, there's conversion. Somebody say conversion.
Conversion.
Come on,
yes.
somebody say conversions, because that's what you want. You don't just want a product, you want profit. You don't just want a product, you want profit. There are many people who pitch services, who produce products, but they don't produce profits.
Mhm.
And that's one of the things why Lisa Nichols has chosen us as a premium consultant in the area of publishing, because she, from her experience as a consultant, as a speaker, from her experience of being someone who has gained massive influence, she talked about the product of The Secret, but there was no profit. There was no profit. She's a master coach. She's giving masterful advice, but there wasn't the profit on the other side. But at the Best Sellers Academy, we show you not just the product, but we show you the profit. Somebody say, show me the money.
Show me the money. Show me the money. Because the truth is that you are absolutely capable, right? There is nothing that distinguishes you from anyone else except the fact that those who are getting the $40,000 speaking engagements, those who are going from overlooked to overbooked, Deborah, those are the people who have put their genius, they've packaged their genius in such a way that it can be consumed, okay? It can be spread around. It can be their little ambassadors that go out and say, hey, choose me. I'm an expert in this field. And so we're going to give you our top framework, okay? This top framework is going to help you to stay top of mind for corporations who want to hire you. It's going to help you to be a top authority as a subject matter expert so that media, come on somebody, media can seek you, okay? Imali and I, we teach our folks how to get consistent media inquiries based on the topic that you specialize in. All right. So if you want to be found, this top framework is going to be for you. And if you want to be a top rated speaker so you can keep getting booked, take note of this top formula. The T stands for talent. Okay. You must know that you can have all the talent in the world. I think TD Jakes said it best. He said, some of the most talented singers in my church are not the ones on stage, but it's the one in the audience. Understanding that your talent can only go to the extent in which you're willing to show it off and share it, okay?
So your talent can only go to the extent that you're willing to show. Your talent can only grow to the extent of your willingness to show. Your talent can only grow to the extent of your willingness to show. AKA, stop hiding. Stop hiding. Stop saying that I don't want to do that live stream. Stop saying I don't want to do that, I don't want to do that video.
Mhm.
You know, I'm a private person. Yeah, you'll be privately poor. You'll be privately poor. Yeah. Yep. I know. You have to, your visibility brings credibility.
Yes, it does.
And sometimes the loudest people are not always necessarily the most brilliant people.
Hmm.
They just took the courage to open their mouth.
Wow.
They took the courage to get up. They took the courage to craft that message. They took the courage to write that book. They took the courage to publish that book. They took the courage to just show up. So your talent must be in direct proportion to your visibility, because visibility equates credibility. Visibility equates credibility. All right, so that's key, that's important, and that's necessary. So, for instance,
Ine, she came from a very traditional career. She was an HR specialist and did that for years and did it well. But she was looking to get more, she was actually looking to transition into her next chapter. And as a result, she made a commitment to be present on social, right? Because she understands the principle that we teach, which is that visibility equals credibility. All right. And so even though she didn't love social media, like I don't think a lot of us do, she was willing to go the extra mile and be present to her audience so that they could see that she is the expert in her field. And as a result, she's landed numerous speaking engagements. After, of course, launching her book, she's gotten a TEDx talk, and she is just on fire. I mean, you can catch her anywhere from New York to London speaking about her genius. This could be you. This should be you, right? We expect you in showing these examples, not that you fawn over the folks who have implemented what we teach, but simply for you to see yourself in their story. Because after all, what good is a story if it never gets told? These are ordinary people, Claire, choosing every day to be extraordinary. And that can be a choice that you make. So we recommend, let's start very, very strategic. Use what you got. How many of you have been caught up trying to figure out, well, I don't have this, I don't have a VA, I don't have time, right? All of the I don't haves. But what about what you do have? Somebody type in the chat, I've got something. I've got something. There is something that you have that you can use right now to start getting the visibility that your brand and your message deserves. Yes, Carletta, I've got something. I've got something. And they want to see it. So let us talk about the technology. Right? You being visible and present on social media is not about you sitting up every morning trying to put up a genius picture with the awesome caption. No, make your presence predictable. Make it predictable. So if you only commit to being present on social 3 times a week, well, that's better than 0. And especially many of you who specialize, like you want to reach out to corporate, right? You don't want to necessarily work one-on-one with coaching individuals, but you want to get those top paying corporate speaking gigs. Well, that's going to require you to be visible. They can't find you if they don't know that you exist, right? They can't find you if they don't know that you exist. And so make a plan for being present on LinkedIn, on Facebook, wherever it is that your ideal client is, whatever platform they use, go there. Okay? Go there. So that is the T in our top formula, letting your talent be visible. Letting your talent be visible. Next up, we have the O in opportunity. The O stands for opportunity.
You see,
Victor Hughes, sorry, this is my favorite quote, so I gotta say it.
So go right ahead.
He said that there is nothing more powerful than an idea whose time has come. How many of you've declared it in the chat? I see you on Zoom and I see you on YouTube. You've declared it in the chat that I've got something. That something that you have is an idea that should be shared. And therefore, our job, your objective is to identify the ears that need to hear what you have to say.
Come on now.
And so we've created, well, we actually didn't create it, but it's an excellent tool. It's a system called a Dream 50 list. A Dream 50 list. Okay. So those of you who are my note takers, remember this masterclass day 2 is about implementation. So the Dream 50 list is going to help you to have a clear vision of who your dream clients are, your dream media that you would have wanted to be on, right? You've always dreamed about being on Oprah, but guess what? Oprah closed her show down, right? But there are individuals who have some name, cachet, and some credibility and a platform who you may dream about being interviewed by.
Come on.
Ask yourself, do this research, y'all. I'm telling you, it's going to save you the headache of misdirection. Beating your head against the wall saying, well, I'm not finding any traction in my business. No, that excuse is out the window. Write your list, right? The book that I love, the book that we love, scripture says, write the vision and make it plain. Because if you don't know where you are going, any road will take you there. If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. So media, for example, my background is in PR. We told the story yesterday about how I built my PR company working with NFL and NBA players. And one of the key things that even though they had these big celebrity names, they still needed to get in the media, okay? So media is so essential. Social media.
Stop right there, because that's essential, what you just said. Even though they had big names, even though they were NFL, NBA players, even though they were in the media for free, they still had to develop a dream list. They still had to develop a strategy for their career. So if the talented, the exposed, the rich, the famous still sit down and develop a strategy to get visibility, who are you? If Coca-Cola still advertise and they're making billions and millions of dollars, who are you? That's a key concept there. Who are you? Who am I? It's important to generate that list, because that's how you position yourself for opportunity. Somebody type in the chat, opportunity.
Opportunity.
Come on, you're on this live stream, you're looking in this room, the VIP peek in access is about to expire. So just take this quick bit before it ends. It's important for you to know the opportunity. Those of you who are in the VIP room, you are part of this experience. Type in the chat, opportunity. So here's what we're gonna do. I want you to take about 2 minutes. Write down your top dream list. Write down, I want you just to consider who, be it organizations, conferences, whoever it is. I want you to consider that now. Who are the organizations or key conferences or key personnels or key events that you like to work with? All right, I want you to generate a list at least of 5. Right? So they could be organizations, conferences, individuals, brands, whatever it is. You know what you've been looking at, dreaming at. I see you, Sharon. I see you, Pamela. That's right, opportunity. That's right, opportunity. So I want you to think about that. We're gonna. This is a key. This is very, very key, because we have a key exercise that's going to help you sharpen that list.
That's right.
But I want you to start thinking about it. So we're gonna have some thinking music. This is your opportunity to think about this.
We'll do it for 30 seconds.
All right. We're gonna be doing it. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes because it's a key question. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes. All right, to think about it intentionally, systematically, because this is where you're gonna be positioned for the money.
Position me for the money, baby.
All right. So we're gonna give you that time. 2 minutes. 2 minutes is gonna be critical. The questions up there. Who is your dream list? What does that dream list look like?
And if, for the sake of this exercise, if you come up with 5 in each category, you're already set up for success, right? So target 5 and then build that out once the training is completed.
All right.
Wow. I can see in my mind the wheels turning. Awesome, awesome. So, dream 50 list, right? I want you all to really, people have paid us for this knowledge alone. So, I definitely want you to use it. And let us know, what have you come up with? Who's on your dream 50 list?
So type it in the chat. All right. This is because I want you to share your list, raw as it is,
As raw as it is.
unrefined as it is.
Mhm.
That's okay. But drop it in the chat and we're going to read it out. And then we're going to give you some added strategies how you can refine that thinking process. Is that all right with you guys? So type it in the chat. All right. What are your dream lists? And we want to see some of those examples. And we're gonna walk you through that and refine that list for you.
Go check on you.
So you take them through the training. Let me take that.
Will anything shut down as a result?
If
you
it
just
does,
stop it.
this is connected to this antenna. So you just switch to this.
Okay, no problem.
Atlantic.
Okay. That doesn't sound good with what I'm hearing. You want to call the guy to see if that's normal?
No, I don't switch it.
Okay.
So
What I do? Just go here straight.
yeah, put it on.
Yeah. All right. So let me see. Who wants to volunteer? Okay, great. Claire, I see you in the chat. You have banking conferences. And you are, oh yeah, you are our person who specializes in C-suite executives, which is awesome. So I want you if you could demonstrate for us. Are you able to come on camera by chance, Claire? I saw you earlier, but I'm not sure if you're still able to. And if you are, just open up your mic, please. Okay, great. I can see you, and I'm just trying to check my audio to make sure I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, yes. I can hear you too. Beautiful.
Okay.
All right.
I'm using my phone, so.
No worries. So Claire, tell me who are 2 organizations that are on your media list, your dream media list? Uh-oh, I lost your audio.
Okay.
Oh, there you are. I can hear you now. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Who's on your list? You can do.
My list, yeah, it's the financial conferences, because there's a lot of
That's
wisdom in the banks and financial organizations I've worked with. There's still a lot of redlining and the other issues. In terms of U.S.-based global companies,
okay.
because they're trying to U.S. any of their offices, and we have to make the decision in the U.S. And so the location bias happens. They're not culturally aware of what's going on in Africa, Europe, Asia, South America. Also law enforcement. We can do that all day.
All day, right?
Yeah, and I'm working with one of the agencies, but we'll hope that we'll get more Asian-based companies, because how can you be more global? Because a lot of I'm Chinese, so it's like sometimes the Asians are very insular, and also the NAIS, the POCC. I've been working them for a number of years, but that we have to start at the high schools.
Yeah, absolutely.
And be able to give them the courage to be able to speak up, and also without judgment, because there's a lot of judgment.
I think that your list is so strong, and there's so much opportunity, Claire. Oh my gosh, I'm getting chills. Because you didn't even go in the other categories like media and nonprofits. You stayed in terms of for-profit. And the reason why this is so critical, and as I'm teaching Claire, I want you guys to take notes as well, is letting you know that you don't have to be everywhere to be present. These 3 categories are fundamental. So if you have action happening with conferences and media, those 2 alone is going to get you the revenue streams that you're looking for. So what I want you to do, if you have created a list similar to what Claire did, now we got to go deeper. We want to be very specific, because the power in the Dream 50 list is actually writing the exact names of those choice organizations. So for example, what is the name of a banking conference that you see all of the major players going to every year? That.
Yeah, that's some of the research I need to do.
Yes. And when you do it, you're going to be like, wow, I've been seeing this all the time, but I didn't even know there was an association for this